What's going on, it's Suk and I'm back with a brand new video on SuperDuprTech, and in today's video I'll be showing you the still images and video footage taken with all of the current generation iPads. That's the 2021 iPad mini, the M2 iPad Pro, the M1 iPad Air, along with the 10th and 9th generation iPad models. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so if you are new around here, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, clicking the bell to be notified of when a new video goes live. But without any further ado, let's hit the titles. So the spec for the models that I have been using will be left down below in this video's description, and over the coming weeks I'll upload a few videos in which I'll showcase the differences between each of these cameras. Once again, be sure to subscribe, as when these new iPad models come out I'll be sure to test those models too. But enough talking, let's take a look at what these iPads are capable of producing. So what you're watching is currently being recorded on the M2 enabled iPad Pro. What you're watching is from the 122 degrees field of view on the true depth camera system. It's being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second. What are your thoughts? How stable does it look? Is it exposing for the background, the sky behind me? I'm now going to crop in a little. So what you're watching now is currently the cropped version of this true depth camera system. So it's still being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second, but it substantially looks a lot more shakier. But how do I sound? Do I sound closer? I don't know. Let me know down below. So what you're watching is currently being recorded on the front-facing camera on the M1 enabled iPad Air. So what you're watching is currently with the ultra-wide camera at 122 degrees, so that's the field of view, and it's currently being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second. So yeah, what are your thoughts on how it is currently looking? Does it look quite stable? How do I sound, of course? So I'm going to now switch across to the cropped look that you also get with this front camera, and let me know how the stabilization looks from there. So what you're now looking at is the cropped look from this iPad. So of course I've taken off the ultra wide look, and yeah, once again, how do I look? How is the background? It doesn't look, it's very well exposed. It is quite overcast today, but yeah, how do I sound? Are the microphones picking up my voice quite well? Does it look quite stable? Leave your thoughts down below. So what you're watching is currently being recorded on the iPad mini. We are currently recording at 1080p at 60 frames per second. We are recording through a 12 megapixel camera, which has a field of view of 122 degrees. It's also got an aperture of f2.4. Basically, it's almost the same camera that you've seen throughout today. So what are your thoughts and opinions on how it looks? Does it look quite shaky at this field of view? I'm now going to crop in, and we should get a good feel as to how it actually looks. So what you're looking at now is the cropped full HD footage, once again being recorded on the 2021, I believe it is, iPad mini. What are your thoughts and opinions once again on how this looks? Do I sound quite good? Which iPad has performed and sounded the best so far? Who knows? Leave your comments down below in the comment section. So what you're looking at is currently being recorded on the 10th generation iPad. This is from the front camera, which is centered atop the right bezel or the top bezel, depending on how you picture this iPad. So yeah, what you're looking at is from the 122 degrees field of view, 12 megapixel full HD camera, which is being recorded at 60 frames per second. Essentially, it's the same camera, or at least the same front camera that is found within the true depth camera system of the iPad Pro. So yeah, how do I sound first and foremost? Do I sound quite clear? I don't know. Does it look quite shaky? Once again, leave your comments down below. Now what I'm going to do is just zoom in just a little so we can crop in to this 12 megapixel sensor. It'll still be recorded at full HD, but once again, I want to see what your thoughts are, what your opinions are on this camera. So I've now cropped in. So how do I look? How do I sound? Honestly, it does look good at the fact that it is centered. So I'm not off at an angle or anything like that. I am dead center of the frame. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Does it look any good? Could it be better? You know, anything can be better, I guess. But what are your thoughts? Once again, leave them down below in the comment section. So the footage that you're currently watching is now being recorded on the 9th generation iPad. This is being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second, and it's also being recorded using the 12 megapixel 122 degree field of view camera. So this camera has an aperture of f2.4, pretty much identical across the board with all of the other iPads. What are your thoughts on how it's looking? Does it look quite stable? Do I sound decent enough? The sky, overblown, to be expected. But what are your thoughts? I'm now going to crop in and we'll see how that looks. So now that I've cropped in, how does it look? Does it still look quite as sharp? Does it look sharper? It's not exposing for the sky, so there's certainly a bit of a drawback once again. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. It certainly looks a bit more shakier now, but yeah, that's to be given. When you're using a wide angle camera, you know, things just generally look a bit more stable. So now that we're cropped in, it certainly looks a bit more shaky, but yeah, once again, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. So switching across to the iPad Pro, it instantly, at least to my eye, seems like we're seeing a bit more detail in the sky, but it may just be, you know, my eyes playing up on me, who knows, but it could be the image signaling processor found within the M2 on this iPad Pro. What you're looking at is the 122 degree field of view. Yep, this is still being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second. So yeah, what are your thoughts on how it is currently looking? If I, of course, now crop in, so as I crop into the camera on this iPad Pro, you'll notice that there isn't much of a difference, at least in the video quality. In fact, I look considerably more grainy. There's a lot more noise that has been introduced to the video footage. And yeah, what are your thoughts anyway in terms of stabilization and how I sound across all of these iPads? Is there a noticeable difference going from one iPad to another? Do you notice any differences? Let me know down below. I'm now going to switch across to the 2021 iPad mini, and we should see how that now performs. So this is now on the iPad Air, and once again it's the 122 degree field of view. Once again I am front lit, now backlit, and yeah, I mean, you can at least see some details in the sky behind me. But yeah, once again, if I crop in, you should be able to see that the camera is still fairly poor. It still behaves fairly poor, even when I'm front lit. So, and the footage that you're now watching has been recorded on a 2021 iPad mini. At least to my eyes, it looks considerably better, but it may just be because of the smaller screen, perhaps. I'm now walking back up towards that light source where I was at the start of this initial shoot. But yeah, if I spin around just a little, so I'm now front lit, I look considerably better on the screen, and this is still being recorded using that 122 degree field of view lens. Yeah, it's all being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second. How do I sound? How do I look? Once again, is it quite stable? Yeah, it looks it at least. But if I crop in to this camera, you should be able to see a considerable amount of noise that has now been introduced into this shot. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down below in the comment section. So what you're looking at is currently being recorded on the 10th generation iPad. This is once again being recorded with that 122 degree field of view of video lens, I guess you could call it. Obviously at the same time, this is still being recorded at full HD at 60 frames per second, and I am kind of backlit. Angle it that way, so I'm front lit. You can at least make me out, and if I crop in a little, you will see that it is still equally just as bad, I guess. And this is footage that's being recorded on a 9th generation iPad. Yeah, it still looks quite grainy, it still looks quite noisy. Overall, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on what you're looking at? I'll crop in just a little, and you can see that there is a considerable amount of noise that is being introduced into this video footage. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, leave your comments down below on which you think performed the best, and yeah, let's move on to the next test. So that has been it for today's video. Of course, if you are new around here, then once again be sure to hit that subscribe button, clicking the bell to be notified of when a new video goes live. If you got any questions with anything you've seen in today's video, then be sure to leave them down below in this video's comment section, or alternatively you can hit me up on my social media, links to which can be found down below in this video's description. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care and have a good one.